Good morning, welcome to Resource Prepping. I'm your host Greg. I want to continue on with the basic prepping and moving it forward just a little bit to maybe prepping 102. If I start to sound like an info commercial or a doofus, let me know in the comments. You don't need to be rude about it, but I don't know where everybody's at. A lot of this may be redundant to you, some of this may be new information, but please let me know. Okay, I won't waste my time and I won't waste your time because your time is valuable. All right, I'm getting questions. How do I find a rural location? How do I secure that location? Where do I find bug out locations? What do I do? First off, number one, most important is, are you committed to the process of your survival and your family survival if there is one? How committed are you? Are you going to say, well, I've got 50 pounds of rice and a couple things of dehydrated food or a case of MREs, we're good. I'm not going to spend any more money until I know what happens. Well, if it happens and you're in the crisis, you're already behind the eight ball big time because there isn't going to be anything else coming your way. All right, so you're preparing for what could happen and be ready for that. All right, excuse me, I'm going to try and find some in a little bit better light. So, how to find a rural location. First off, my suggestion to you is have your ducks in a row. In other words, how deep a debt are you? If you can eliminate the debt to get yourself financially better off, if you can get yourself more financially secure, that's a big step because chances are you may have to finance your rural location. Banks will not lend you to someone that is up to their eyeballs in debt and has no means to repay it back. They'll give it to you. It's called predatory lending, and then repossess it, ruin your credit, and then resell it again to make money. We've already been there. You don't need to do that. Check your finances. How much can you realistically afford? And I mean, be really realistic. If you can afford 800, 1,000, 2,000 a month, you have a pretty good shot of getting out in the rural America. If you're saying, man, 300 bucks is my limit, I don't know what to tell you. Get a tiny house and a piece of land and start from there. Get yourself a bus or something else, but you're going to be roughing it, and I want you to be prepared for that. Number two, so you have your ducks in a row. Number two, you start looking in two areas. The reason I say two areas is you have your first choice and then you have your second choice. So if there's nothing in your first choice, you have an alternative to look in a different area. So you always have a backup plan. All right. So you're getting your finances in order and you're saying, I'm good. Okay. And you found two locations. Now, my suggestion is if you want to do the work yourself, because you're still building your supplies, you're still building your momentum, start checking the obituaries in those two areas. If it's in a rural area, farmers pass away. They're like everybody else. They live and die. A lot of times you will see their farms or their farmhouses going up for sale after an estate sale. So they have auctions or estate sales clearing out their personal belongings, and then they will list the house for sale. Check those. So obituaries, estate sales, auctions, right? Just driving around out there, see if there's a for sale sign out in the yard. Contact that realtor if you want to go through that. Sometimes you can work out a deal, a land contract with that person and saying, hey, listen, I'm interested in buying your house and maybe 10 acres. I can't afford the 50 acres or 100 acres. The farmer can still lease that property to another farmer, and still make money on land contract with you and the 10 acres, which will allow you to grow food. Be careful with the land contract. Know what you're getting into. I would always, always, always recommend to have a lawyer take a look at land contract. The farmer is financing you, but there's a lot of loopholes. There's a lot of defaults to that land contract, so be advised. All right, you say, that's too much work for me. I'm busy. I got kids to raise, I'm working a full-time job, I'm taking care of this, whatever. You have that excuse. So then you say, I'm just going to contact a realtor, let them do the work for me, and come to me. When you go through a realtor, you are going to probably 95% of the time be pre-qualified. How much can you afford through a bank, through a loan, before the realtor even wastes their time? There's a lot of realtors that have now said, look, I'm not going to drive you around and pay for gas at $5.09 a gallon or whatever it is in your area, and pay for gas driving you around only to find out you can't afford, you can't afford anything, and you just cost me time, effort, and money. So you're going to have to be pre-qualified. How do you do that? You contact the realtor, they give you the questionnaire, and you say, okay, here's my finances, here's what I can prove, W-2s, you're working, and everything else. And then they submit it and say, okay, here's how much we will lend to you. That will give you a good starting point. All right. Once you find the location, take a look at it. Don't jump at the first thing. Take a look at it. Look at the area. Is it a depressed area? No growth. People are foreclosing. People are not renewing. Schools are overcrowded. They're outdated. The hospital is however far away, 20, 30 minutes away, hour away. How about fire, police, anything else like that? Take a look at all those factors. Find out. Is it worth investing in being stuck out in BFE and saying, wow, did we make a mistake? We have to drive an hour to the grocery at whatever price the gasoline will be. And if we have a fire, we are our own EMS and fire. So take a look at those factors. On the reverse side, you could say, wow, this is a really up and coming neighborhood, new growth, new houses. We have that, but take a look at the property taxes. What can you afford on that? Propane, natural gas, oil, all heating, all going up. Are you on your own well, or are you connected to the city? The city can cut off your water at any time for any reason in an SHTF. They could say, well, you know what, we're saving our water for our in-town citizens, and you guys can dig your own well out there. Don't laugh. It's happened. So take a look at all those factors and then make a wise decision. Can I improve the land by growing my own garden, or on my lot by 50 by 80, like in a suburban neighborhood where we're not allowed to have chickens and we're not allowed to have that, basically an HOA. We can't do anything to improve our standard of living, our renewable resources. Make sure when you go out there what you are allowed to do. If you have cattle for neighbors and you see barbed wire fences and electric fences and everything else, you know that that's pretty much good to go. Can you plant fruit trees? Is there room to plant fruit trees? Is there room to grow your own crops? Can you have chickens? Can you have livestock? Are you capable of doing that? Do you even want to do that? All these questions need to be written down on a piece of paper. Where to start? Location A, location B. Can I improve the property? Is there security? Is there fire? Is there EMS? Is there schooling? Is there work? Property taxes? How far? Home heating? What all this takes? And then make your own decision there. That's how you get started. That's just my suggestions to you. A lot of people start a property, as what happened here. Some people started a property and then somebody got sick and died. I wasn't here originally. The missus was. She was married to somebody else. He passed away, but they fell into that, fortunately for me, because I improved the property. We improved the property. We grew, we planted gardens. We planted fruit trees. We did a whole lot of improvement on that the original person was not interested in doing. So take advantage of that. Don't think it's morbid to look at the obituaries. It's an opportunity for you to improve your home and your lifestyle. All right, hope this helps. That's how you get started. That's how we got started, and it's working for everybody else. Get yourself right with God, meaning asking for forgiveness. Get baptized, submerged in water. In the name of Jesus Christ, Greg out.